Welcome to Talking Food, Season 1, Episode 1. On today's show, we take you out to Billy's Backyard Barbecue at Mount Cotton, an American barbecue restaurant family owned by Pete and Loz. We sat down with Loz to have a bit of a chat about all things barbecue, owning a restaurant, and how things have changed in the restaurant industry in the 15 years that they've done it. So this is Season 1, Episode 1 of Talking Food, a show that highlights two experiences. Experience 1 is going out and riding motorcycles and enjoying everything that comes with being a motorcyclist, going a bit of off-road, a bit of on-road, just having a bit of a highlight of all different things. The other experience is going out to some of these restaurants and talking to some of the owners and chefs and seeing what they actually do, seeing how hard the work is, and they live an extraordinary life. And you know, there's so many storytellers within that industry that we'll come across and showcase along the next part of this series. Today we've loaded up the Harley Davidson Pan America. Different camera gear, microphones, tripod, everything that we basically could. Got probably about 500 kilos on it with the rider included. But yeah, going out, probably a couple hundred Ks round tour on this one. We'll leave a link below with a GPX file that we'll be able to show you the ride that we did. Make sure if you go and do the ride, take some photos, give us a tag in them. If you've been to Billy's, shoot us a photo of what you ate there. I'll be stoked to see what you did. Yeah, we're down here at Billy's Barbecue down at Mount Cotton. A little initiative. This is our first one that I've done of these, and it's basically coming out to see people, people's restaurants, talk to people that own the restaurants, chefs, combining motorcycling, which is something I really love, and coming out and seeing some of these places and shining some light on some of these different pockets and roads and stuff like that. So thanks for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure having you.
What's Billy's Barbecue? What's it all about?
Well, it started back in when Pete and we had cafes for 15 years,
right.
And just slowly but gradually we had a passion for doing smoked ribs. And we had a pizza oven in the back of our yard, and we were doing smoked ribs in our pizza oven when we had our cafe.
Right.
And it just evolved from there. We loved doing all of that, and then one day from having our cafe, we went to buying I think it was a 24-inch smoker. Yep. And just started from there, going.
Oh, right. That's a pretty quick acceleration, hey?
It is. It's a huge change from what we were doing in cafes.
Where was the cafes? Are you a local person to them now?
Sure are. Yeah. Yep. We've been at Brown Sugar in Victoria Point. We've had another restaurant in Victoria Point at Lakeside.
Yep.
Yep, and in Cleveland, so we've had quite a few over the last 15 years.
So always around the bay and everything like that?
Always in the bay.
Now, at some point, it must feel, you look online, you've got 41,000 people follow your Facebook page, right, for this place?
Yep.
Is that weird?
It is, because there's a lot of people out there that you don't realise that are following you, that come in and that are like that, they follow all the time, and it's incredible to have that many followers. Because
you've built a culture around, well, this area, but like I come out here and did a bit of filming yesterday as well, but people travel out to here.
They sure do.
You almost get to a point where it's an iconic destination to try and travel to.
Yeah.
That must be a bit strange to you as well. Like
it is
in your own place.
Yeah, of course it is. It is very much a destination. Yep. We were wanting to probably go further down the coast, but this we found is perfect for people to come to us from the Gold Coast, central enough to come to us from maybe Brisbane as well. So no, we do. We pull quite a few people, which is quite a remarkable thing for us to do in only a small area, which is the Bayside.
And we'll show everyone a bit of a look around the area as we're riding as well, these different things. But what got you into food at the start, you and Pete? What was it just obviously cafes, but was there something that...
No, it was me. I was doing cafes before we started to buy our businesses, and just the passion for it just grew and grew. We'd buy them, build them up, sell them, buy them, build them up and sell them. And that's what we did for 15 years. And this one is really, really different. It's been hard, but very, very different.
15 years, like you look at the way it's changed as a business, social media, people, online things, like everything, you know what I mean? The human element that adds to that too. How have you seen that change in that time? Like you think 15 years, that's what, 2006 to GFC, you know, we've had a huge shake-up amongst that time.
We sure have.
How's that changed things?
It's very, very different nowadays because everyone uses social media.
Yeah.
Where back in the day, it was a lot of word of mouth, newspaper, advertising that way. But the only way I find people use to communicate is through social media now. Yeah. So that's the way it's changed, I think, by huge amounts. Yeah. That's as you can see with all the followers, that's how it grows. Absolutely, and you look at globally, like people could see your business. I did a Harley video last week, right? Yep. Just a basic review, just a simple review. Yep. And I've got to stop talking with my hands. Oh, I always do. I'm Italian, so I'll do it all the time. I've got to stop talking with my hands. But I did this review, and 57% of the people were people in the US, in the stats. And I'm like, wow, my local people don't support me, eh? No. But no, B, it's like, you don't know who's watching your stuff. Yeah. That's the big thing, hey? Like, we notice that. You get people that have been following you, and they're like, look, we're from the Gold Coast, we're from Brenda, we come all this way because we follow you guys on your Facebook page. Wow. So we did. You find that they're not just the local people that support you, it's more other people from out of the area that come in to actually have a look and destination. It is. Yeah, and I think it gives people a purpose to travel. Quite often on the weekend, you sort of sit there and you think, well, you probably don't because you work on the weekend. But I do too. So, but quite often you sit there every weekend and think, where can I go to eat, or where can I go and be social? And that's, I guess, what you provide, hey? Yeah, I try and do that, absolutely. Logistics of a place like this, like I've been lucky enough to see the smokers working. Yeah. How do you make it all work? How does it work of a day? What's a day to you? Start early in the morning. Yep. Where people don't understand is when they come in, once we've opened, they don't realise that the shop has already been running to get this place up and serving customers of a night time. It's already been running for nearly 7 to 10 hours beforehand. Wow. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes to get it up to being served on your plate and enjoying beers of a night time with it. So. It's pretty amazing when I sort of sit back and look at it. Like I come in here and like I'm sitting here and there's like the best smell in the world going on here, right? Yeah. Are you accustomed to it? Do you notice it? I can't smell it anymore. It's gone. Yeah. Wow. I think every probably 6 months I'll go, oh, that smells good. Yeah. But that's it. No. I'll go home to my family and they go, God, you smell like brisket. My daughter's 9 and she goes, you should bottle that, Mum. Smells like brisket. Oh, it's beautiful, I must say. Exactly, a lot of people. Yeah. You'll get 1 or 2 people that will come down religiously for their brisket or their meat every week. Yep, that's their treat. That's their correct. Thing. Yep. Now, your Italian background, you're saying, does much of that come into what you do here? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Was that part of the social? Yeah, cool. Okay. I find when I make food, I like to be able to give people what I would expect. I don't like, if you go out to a restaurant and you go out to a nice fancy one, of course you might probably get a little bit here, a little bit there. Yep. I love to be able to say to someone, I don't want you to walk away and go, hey, let's go somewhere else, I'm still hungry. I love watching people come up to the counter and go, look, can I please have a takeaway box? Yep. We've still got so much left over, it was so good, I'm having that for lunch tomorrow. Yeah. And that's what I love seeing. That is such an Italian restaurant type of thing though too, isn't it? It's like coming from that sort of heritage, I guess. That is such a thing. It's like always seconds, like not seconds, but next day. The next day. Always, you never ever run out of food. Yeah. And that's what I like to be able to do. I see the influence too when I walk around a bit of the social part, the lighting, just the way you sort of sit around here. Like it is a friendly side of things. He walks around and makes sure that there's nothing worse that you're sitting down and it's cold, it's uncomfortable.
Yep.
So Pete, he has a big influence on all of
Yes.
what goes on the backside of things.
Because
So-
the ambience of the place, and that's probably my flashes word that I'm going to use in this whole thing,
Yep.
because I probably looked at that one online, but it's beautiful. You know, you
thank
sit
you.
here a Saturday evening or something, and
Yep.
it's pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Mountain biking in this area,
Yes.
it's taken off. Like
Sure has.
the Bayview, you got the place, or Bayview's that way,
That
sorry,
way.
West Mount Cotton out that way.
Yep.
Do you see many of that foot traffic coming through here?
Not really. You'll
Right.
get maybe one or two guys that do an occasional Bayview,
Yep.
but no, no.
I would have thought that'd be you work out in the bush,
And then come
come
here?
back. Yeah, that's
No.
what we've done. So,
No.
yeah, interesting. I thought that might have been a thing. I thought, I wonder if you get more people, because you come out here, you come in the car park here, and there's like utes with bikes on the back around the whole facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't get too many of the
Yep.
bikers. I find that they'll go and have maybe a coffee or something else.
Yep.
But no, we get a lot of like tradies that come in, they want their barbecue, they want a beer, then
Yep.
they'll go home.
What is the most popular thing?
Our boxes, a Billy's
Yep.
box, which gives you an option of all the variety of meat we have.
Yep.
Also a carnivore box, which shares about 3 people.
Yep.
If you're a big eater or a small eater, it all depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get your variety of brisket, your pork, your chicken, your sausages, potato, chips, cornbreads, coleslaw.
Yep.
So it's a variety of all of it. So those boxes are really, really quite good and very popular that we do here. So
Tell me about food. Like how well received is food when you have that feeling of people are coming to you for a night out?
yep.
Must feel good.
It is when you get some people that
Yep.
are a little bit not sure because it is a barbecue joint, but then you get your positive people that just absolutely that's all they want.
Yep.
It's very, very different to going out to a restaurant with your family and going to like fish and chips or you're going to Hog's Breath. It's completely different to places like that. So
From having a cafe, do you see any similarities? Or is it just totally different?
No, it's totally different.
Yep.
Because of it, it is a lot more nighttime,
Yep.
and there is a lot more people that can drink because it is a licensed premises compared to cafes and you have coffee. Yeah, very, very different. People with cafes, or when we had our cafe and coffee,
Yep.
people come in and if you're in a bad mood and you give them a coffee, no matter what, you'll ruin their day. Where the people will come in here and they'll have a beer and it'll be relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that must be a nice feeling.
it is.
Yeah, that must be like, no matter your industry,
Yeah.
sometimes it gets hard to find the reward.
Oh, there is.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah,
it'd be nice to get that reward.
Oh, it is.
So, because
Yeah.
no matter what you're doing, especially when you don't have to say this, but for every business that's got a human element,
Yep.
humans can be awkward to work with.
They
So,
sure do.
and no matter what you say, like, oh, I'm going to jump out of sales for my job,
Yeah.
you're always in sales, no matter what you do. If you're working for Intel making computer chips, you're still selling it
Yeah,
to the next
exactly.
engineer or whatever it may be. So when there's still humans involved in every touch, things can get tricky too,
Of course.
which
Yeah.
makes it hard.
It does.
Had many tricky ones?
No, not too many.
Been good?
It
Yeah.
has been good. Yeah.
Do you have you been over the States?
Not to the States. I've been
Yeah.
overseas though.
Do you have any influences of different barbecue places over there or anything that you looked at? Or was this just something that, this
No,
is how
there-
I want it? you know?
There is.
Or we want it.
I think is it Franklin himself
Right.
over in the States.
Yep.
He's awesome. He just has lines around his place
Yeah, right.
for waiting for 24 hours. I'd love to be able to have that, where people just come in, grab a drink out of an esky and
Yep.
keep on going, grab some meat. But we can't do that over here.
I was going to say, like, we're a pretty regulated country.
Correct.
Especially with food services and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be really difficult, hey?
Oh yeah.
It's like,
It is. There
yeah.
are a lot of things that you have to
Yep.
make sure is done to have your food safety and make sure that it's all done properly.
What has made, and is the word for it American barbecue? Like, is that the
Yeah.
right word? Yeah,
Yeah.
correct word?
Yeah.
What has made American barbecue so popular in the last 5
I have
years?
no idea.
It's so popular.
It is. It's
Yeah.
just boom.
Yeah. Like every friend you have,
Wants to do it or has
Yes.
been doing it or
Yeah.
is still doing it. Yeah.
which is great. Like it's, you know, just
Oh,
like
don't
it-
worry. There's been times that when I first ever started, you'd start it
Yeah.
and you'd get on the drink. Or you'd have a few beers and then you'd burn
Oh,
your
yeah.
brisket because it takes a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big things.
It's not like a chop or a sausage or anything. It's nice and quick. No.
No, like I was here at 5:50 yesterday morning, watching everything get warm, like, you know, heat in, not cooked, preparation to be cooked, you know?
Yes.
And I'm like, that's not going to be served for, you know, till tonight. Like, that's so
10 hours,
long.
yeah.
Like, I go out to A, B, C, whatever it may be, and, oh yeah, I'll have a piece of steak. That's 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
Correct. 5 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, there's so much work.
There is.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, absolutely.
Yeah.
There is.
American barbecue, like, in the States as well, like, it's been around forever, you know, you have a look at it. But for some reason, it has really grown to cultural icons in the States. Like, you watch, you know, YouTube or anything like that, people are just into it.
Yep. I know Jess Prowse. She is a Texas barbecue lady over in the States for Hardcore Carnival.
Right.
Yeah. So I've worked with her. She's huge over there.
Yeah.
Doing it all.
It's cool.
It is.
Like, and I guess this is sort of the thing with the social media type thing where there's two elements, isn't there? There's the, oh geez, there's some real torturous things that come from this.
Of course.
But the other side of it is, if you want to be able to make something, build something, grow something, it's a platform. Yeah.
You have to be in it.
It's cool. What's the biggest fear of owning a restaurant? Is there a fear of owning a restaurant?
Not succeeding, I think. No, it's just, there's a lot, so many different things that you worry about, and if people are going to come to you is the big thing. Are you going to make it look good, or if there's something that you are going to do that someone won't like, or there's heaps of different things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would be hard.
Of course it is. When you first start, and because we started this from scratch, completely not knowing too much about it and building it up. Yeah, it takes a long time to get what we have on Facebook with the followers. It's been a long 3 to 4, nearly 4 years of trying to build it up.
What's one of the biggest mistakes? Was there something that you just looked at from day one and you thought, this would be how we should do it? Has there been anything like that, or has it been pretty...
No, it's been pretty okay, actually.
That's good.
Nothing that's just like you're going, oh, I wish I had done this or that.
Yep.
No, not at all.
It's good.
Yeah.
Because with like this thing that I'm doing, this talk and chatter as we calling it.
Yeah.
Like, I look back at the start of it, and just as much as I was like, no, I don't care if anyone watches this, it's for me, you know.
Yeah, of course.
You still sit at home thinking, I wonder if people are going to hate it.
Oh, don't worry, you're always...
You build a restaurant, like, you've cooked all this in your yard 1,000,000 times.
Yep.
I wonder if other people are going to like this.
Yep, you do. Yeah, it's always on your mind.
Yeah.
Yep. If, like, with me, I don't like pork belly.
Right.
And you're worried that if someone's going to come in and they love it, you're like, well, okay, then I've done something right.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, it is, because you're not sure if you put your combinations together right.
Yeah.
On a brisket burger, well, should we have put this on it? Maybe we should have put that on it.
Yeah.
But you just got to hope for the best, and because everyone's taste buds are completely different.
For sure. Can you tell me, and can you remember what your first day was here and what it was like?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Hard. Yeah. Overwhelming.
Wow.
Yeah. When we first ever started here, we cooked to what we thought we would do. And we would sell out. The first 2 weeks, we tried to do a soft opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't really
What, just
go
the people
plan.
wanted it?
Yeah, all the locals, they all come down. There was a massive wait. I sold out of everything. And yeah, until you find your groove. There was new staff, new everything. Yeah, it was a really hard 2 weeks.
I can imagine, because, nothing's a well-oiled machine for months. You know?
Correct, that's exactly right.
What's it like now?
Great.
Seamless?
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
You have your Sundays that just, out of the blue, you'll have a bunch of people all coming at once in a short period of time.
Yep.
And you can't stop that. And it's sometimes overwhelming, but in the end, having to walk out from in your restaurant and seeing people enjoying, sitting, laughing, bantering with their kids, it's a great feeling. It's awesome.
Yeah, I reckon that would be hard to replace. If I look at, no matter what your business is, I just see something like that, where you've got families coming in, enjoying it, the smiles.
Yep.
There wouldn't be much better elation.
Correct. I love walking around, seeing people smile, seeing them eat food and taking photos of it and sending it to their friends, going, look at what we're eating, and enjoying what I've been able to give them.
You've created a culture. inner
little bit,
area, in
yeah.
a bit, you know, like a subculture in this area. That's what's happened, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not to put the words in your mouth.
No, but,
but it has. You know, when
absolutely,
people are taking photos of something that you've created, assembled, yeah, that'd be pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome especially when Pete goes, hey, look at this. This is what someone's eaten of yours tonight.
Yep.
And it's not just putting it on and showing Pete what they've done or where they've been. It's all their friends and all their friends as well that they've seen it, and then they ask, and when they see it more. So it's an awesome feeling.
Because as a food person, which you are, you've been in this thing
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, thanks, babe.
That's not bad. That's probably my poor speech.
No.
We're just being seried, so I'll just cut that there for a bit.
Cool.
I've just got the crows running here. But brisket over the years, popularity, like, it's like kangaroo, to be honest.
Correct.
It has grown so much. Why is that, do you reckon?
I don't know. I think it's just maybe the trend of things that are now happening with meat and all different types of restaurants that are coming up and what they're using. And so I find that, as I said, brisket years ago wasn't even anything.
No.
It was so cheap. You would use it. And now everyone loves it.
Yeah, it's and even the prices of raw, like if you go to raw product, the price of raw product back for brisket years ago,
correct,
was like kangaroo. You know, like kangaroo. I like kangaroo meat personally. I think it's great, but it was like $1.
Correct.
Now that's 10 times 10 to the power of whatever the number was. You know, so
that's right.
Just popularity, hey.
It is.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you do tri-tip or had tri-tip?
I have. I love tri-tip. Yep. Absolutely. We used to do it before we'd put it in the smoker.
Yep.
Because it has to be hot seared to finish off, because it has that layer on the outside.
Yep.
We used to do it on our rotisserie. And then each time that it would turn, you'd slice a piece off. It would turn and cook a little bit more.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing tri-tip is.
Beautiful meat. And spent a bit of time over in California.
Yep.
And that's sort of like not the birthplace, but there's a lot of tri-tip in South California.
Yep.
But years ago, I got the story of that, because that was the same. No one really wanted it. Yep. And then all of a sudden, tri-tip now is one of the biggest selling items in that whole pocket of, America.
Yep. Yep.
Crazy how it goes. It's not trends, but you get a good flavour out of something maybe, and it just starts to come through, and people start building that culture around it, I guess.
Because I found when we had cafes, everyone was going out for breakfast. All have breakfast.
Yep.
And I find nowadays it's more people want to go out with their families and have dinner. More nighttime things.
Do you reckon that's because people have been too busy? And this is one way they can rewind, is to sit down at dinner and actually have a dinner?
Correct.
That's probably what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I find that when they do come out to dinner, they love using social media and not talking, but they'll talk on social media.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
I reckon, like, you sit in there and see it, you must just go, what are you doing? Sometimes you're like, you're out, you know, there's so much to see and do, and people watch is one of the best things you could ever do.
It is.
And then
I
you
love
watch on the
sitting at
phone.
the bar and watching people.
It's awesome, and then we vicariously go through people watching through our phone now.
Yes.
If
If they want to talk to them right next to you, they'll message you. You're like, sorry, do you want something?
Can't we just talk about it? I do see it getting better. I don't know. I do feel, and like in the 5 years you've been here, I reckon you see the wave of things changing a fair bit too.
Yeah,
So
you have.
what makes the Bayside a good place to be at?
Oh, you're close to everything.
Yeah.
Really, we're not the hustle and bustle of the city, but we're still busy. You've got half an hour to the coast, an hour up the sunny coast. You've got the islands, 10, 15 minutes over to actually get onto the barges and stuff. So why would you want to be anywhere else?
Pretty much, yeah.
My sister used to live in Ipswich.
Yeah.
And it'd take her forever to get to certain places because there's an extra 40 odd minutes before you get here to get there.
One of those things, you just need to be central to things.
Correct.
If you're going to not succeed, but try and maximise the most out of your time, you need to be central, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. And I find where we are now couldn't be a better place. We're central to more or less everything. We've got great parking. Yeah. Great central area.
What's been the best day here? Is there something that you've gone, wow, that day was just a day that I thought everything was great?
Oh, there's been heaps that you could just say, wow, that was a good day. But then there's days that you just go, really?
Yeah.
And so that was a hard day.
Yeah, I've worked for that one.
Yeah. There's none that I can pinpoint. There's been so many.
Tell me about catering.
I love catering.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely love it.
So you're telling me, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but you're telling me about a catering gig you did a while back.
Yes.
What was the numbers again?
Oh, 650 we did
In how long?
in about an hour and a half.
What's the logistics? How do you do that? Because to feed 650 people,
Yep,
you need to take the big smoker.
sure do.
Yep.
We took two and a
Wow.
cold room. Yep.
Jeez.
We
So
had it all planned. So you have 2 lines. We had like 4 tables on
Yep.
one side. So for them to come through, grab their boxes, their cornbreads, their buns.
Yep.
And they could come through on either side. And we had brisket, pork, chicken, and they could just come through.
Wow.
Dual rotate and come back through. Because we have 2 lines, people just come through and we just give them meat. And then
Yep.
they grab their sauces, their drinks.
Nice and fast, efficient.
Yep.
How much meat does a day like that do? Do you know?
A week we do at least a ton of meat
That's
in a week.
it's
So
incredible.
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And especially meat, probably about 350 kilos of brisket a week.
Did you ever think that you'd be doing bodybuilding? Like you're lifting a ton.
I know. God,
a ton
I
in
never
there.
need to go to gym
No,
anymore.
you're lifting a ton of meat in and out of the cool room on a daily, you know.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Some of them, the boxes you get, you just go, really? Wow. Yep, the briskets are sometimes up to 11 kilos
as a slab.
as a whole
Yeah.
piece. Yep,
Wow.
massive.
Yeah, well, I reckon that one I seen yesterday when I was filming, that wouldn't have been shy of that. That was a pretty big piece.
Yeah,
so
about probably 7 to 8 kilos that one was.
Kilos of
just
that.
for one brisket.
if you were to
Great.
do it, if you were to do it again, like start something completely fresh, which you've done,
Yep,
what would you change much?
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd probably add a little bit more to my menu, being able to give people the option of having maybe, if they didn't want low and slow, they can have a steak.
Yeah.
Just because I love cooking steak at home.
Yep.
I love my T-bones. I love my eye fillets.
Yep.
Yeah, where this is where I don't think I have the space. I'd love to be able to grow to be able to do that.
Yep.
But yeah, just probably a little bit bigger,
Wow.
with a little bit more options for people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I guess that is one of the things that there's two ways, isn't there? Like you go out to somewhere. There's sometimes a menu that's 4 pages long, and you go, "Geez, that's too much."
Correct.
There's
Yeah.
that balance in there.
There is absolutely a balance.
Interesting.
But I think if I was to do it, it'd be only maybe one type of steak,
Yep.
not 3 or 4. I wouldn't make it huge.
Yep.
It'd just be that as an add-on for people to go, look, I don't want barbecue. I would just want a steak.
Yep.
And then you're giving that variety for everyone to open up for other people to come out as well.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it opens that door to, just the extra few people that just don't want that barbecue experience,
correct. Yeah, but they still want to come out with their friends that want barbecue.
Yeah, because I feel barbecue is an experience.
It is.
More than dinner. Like it is a bit more of an experience.
It is indeed an experience.
It's whereas steak, not so much experience-wise.
No.
Unless it's something totally different or a different way of doing it. But the barbecue is definitely an experience.
It is.
Where else would you go? Are you going to stay in this area? Like this, is this something you'd never franchise out or something like that? Or?
I don't think I'd franchise it out.
Not worth it.
I'd probably expand the catering side of things more.
Yep.
And do, because it is growing and growing, the catering side. There's so many people out there that want weddings,
Yep.
that have parties, that want businesses, and to try and cater with just me and the restaurant, I think I need more, like bigger.
Yeah.
I want bigger.
Yep. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So you cater for a couple of supercar teams across the time too?
Correct. Yep, I'm doing Penske this Wednesday coming for
Yep.
230 people.
Can't
Can't wait. I love my cars.
that certainly helps. So, how do you plan for that? Do you sit down and go, okay, someone's going to have 100 gram of brisket? Do you bring it down to that far, or?
I used to, yep.
Yep.
And because when I first ever started, I used to let people, because there's a buffet, they used to come through and do it themselves. And I've learned from that over the years that you can't just let people go free for all of themselves, because
Yep.
they think, oh, I'm going to eat this much.
Yeah.
When it's so high in protein and they're not going to eat all that much meat.
Yeah.
They will eat chicken, brisket, sausage, pork,
Yep.
but not as much as what they thought. So now I portion it out to about probably 150 grams each person.
Yep.
And then if they want and they've had enough because they've got potato salad, they've got coleslaw, buns, cornbreads that I supply to them as well. At the end of it, that's a huge meal.
Oh yeah.
For
Yeah,
one
you're going to go
person.
sleep for a while.
Exactly, that's right.
We
I find
should.
I do catering more or less on a Thursday or a Friday.
Yep.
Because then they can go home early. And then it's fine. Knock off early day.
Sort of like, it comes back to that too. It's the experience.
Yes.
You know, they get to experience having barbecue at their workplace.
Yep.
And hopefully that treat is going home and chilling out and
Correct.
having a bit more fun, you know. So
Yeah.
if you were to go out somewhere, what do you go out to?
To dinner wise?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have a favourite food? Is it Italian? Is it
it is. It's pizza or pasta.
It
I
is?
love.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
much good ones around?
There's a few.
hard to
Something
find.
there is absolutely really hard to find,
Yep.
especially. Otherwise, I try and cook pizza myself.
Yep.
I've got a pizza oven at home.
Yep.
I'm not really good at that, but I
Yeah.
try.
Because it's very hard to, that's one thing that's really hard to find. It's good
Yes.
Italian
Yep.
in Brisbane anyway. So
Yep.
I'm off to Phillip Island next week
Yes.
for MotoGP. There's a place down there called Pino's,
Yep.
and it is by far, from my own opinion, the best. So
Yep.
that's where I'll be going.
Yep,
So-
indeed.
Well, thanks.
What would you enjoy more, pizza or pasta? When you go Italian.
Do you have to
What do you-
choose?
Exactly,
But yeah,
both.
do you have to choose? But no, it'd be pasta.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pasta.
Yeah.
Because I feel too, a bit, is pasta's a bit of an experience.
It is.
It's not something I can go out to every night and have at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know? So I'd go there and have pasta, but if there was some sort of pizza that you could have as like a small pizza or something, like a sharing thing for the table,
Yeah.
that would be lovely. It's like sweet and, what is it? Sweet and salty? You know,
Oh,
like there's-
sweet, yes,
you
yes.
sort of mixing those two flavours up.
I'd love to be able to do a pizza that incorporates my smoked meats.
Yeah.
Something that I think would be awesome if we were to evolve from doing low and slow to steaks, maybe
Yep.
to something. That'd be awesome.
That
to
would be
do.
unreal.
Yeah. To have that experience as well
Yep.
on low and slow pizzas. That's
Yeah.
really traditionally slow cooked.
Because is there, you know, we talk about pizza ovens and things like that, and we've completely gone off American barbecue here, but you talk about pizza ovens and stuff. Is there a low and slow sort of style of pizza? Like, is that a traditional thing, or is it get it in and get it really quickly and melt?
I have no idea. That's
Interesting.
where it'd be really exciting
Yep.
to actually to see.
Yep.
Put brisket on a pizza.
Yep.
If people love it, I'll do it.
Yeah, it'd be pretty
it's,
good.
It's something that we'd
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, definitely try, and I can imagine the flavours.
Yep.
The flavours would be sensational if you could
Absolutely,
put it in
yeah.
there. And I think the biggest thing would probably be the sauce.
Yes.
You know?
And we make all of our sauces all in house. We make all our pickles.
Really?
Yep, all of it.
Really?
Right down to our pickled onions,
Yep.
our barbecue sauce, our Carolina Gold sauce, our mustard. No, sorry, not our mustard. We're trying to do our mustard. It's our buffalo sauce. We make it all, which is awesome. That we used to, when we first ever started 5 years ago, it was all bought in.
Yeah.
To now, we make it down to like the last little things is all ours.
How much time did that take?
5 years.
It did? Like,
Yeah, all
just
the 4
continually
years that
evolve?
we've, absolutely. It's just taken time and more time, practice.
Yep.
No, this isn't right. This is what we want to use.
Yep.
So yeah.
Gee, you would have worn out a fair few teaspoons.
Oh,
Like trying to
absolutely. And
practice.
different
Yeah.
sauces that we
Yeah.
went through. No, don't like this one. Throw
Yep.
it out.
Yep.
Yep. We use a Dr. Pepper sauce on our ribs. Yep.
Wow.
So we try and incorporate all different types of things and
Wow.
ourselves.
That's incredible. And you sell those too, hey?
Sure do. We sell all of our sauces.
Has that become a business in itself, or not quite?
Not quite, but
Yep.
if you were to push it more,
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
Yep.
There would be, yeah.
Because it seems like part of that like American culture of the food thing is they seem to be selling the brand of sauce.
But I try and
hats.
remember, when you do low and slow, people come to have your meat, not to have a cake load of sauce on top of it.
Yeah.
You want to be able to taste the experience of it being smoked, being put on the plate, put a side of sauce with it. If you want to taste it with it, do it that way.
Yeah.
So,
That's one of the things, and I think too, like you get lost in trying to just brand everything.
Correct.
As well,
Yeah,
and you
I
forget
think
that you're a
that's
restaurant.
correct. That's why I don't think franchising would be
Yeah.
best for us, because it is family owned, and we like to be able to do it all ourselves.
Yes.
And it'd get changed
Yep.
a lot if it was a franchise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know who Bert Kreischer is? A comedian guy? Don't know?
No.
Okay, I was listening to a show that he did the other day. It's called Something's Burning. It's a bit of a cooking sort of show.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know Jim Jeffries, the other Australian comic?
Yes.
He was on there as a guest. So this comedian, Bert, he does cooking for the two guests, right?
Yeah.
So he cooks up and he tries to theme it with one of the people. And one of them was Jim Jeffries, who's an Australian. And there was some onion thing, I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
But it's Outback Steakhouse does it, and they say it's Australian. So he's like, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
He's like, I've never seen it in Australia. And that's what happens. Like if you start, I guess, franchising or getting something out, you basically lose the element of why it was actually created, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it was
Changes.
interesting. I laughed so much when I heard that. I'm like, wow. Because, you know, you look at that business, it's
Yeah.
all around the world representing Australia. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the Foster's can.
Yes.
But we don't have Fosters to drink.
Anymore,
you know,
no,
so
it's good.
It's just, I guess, what you get represented for, I guess, you know,
Correct.
Vegemite, and it's that sort of deal.
Yeah,
So,
that's exactly right.
cool. What else you got going on? Anything else exciting? Just
No,
working?
just working, doing lots of jobs at the moment, which is
Yep.
great.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
No, it's been a pleasure having you.
This is my first one. I was nervous, very intimidating. Nah, nah, it's awesome. So
It's all right.
thank you for having me.
No, you're more than welcome.
And
Thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
Take care,
Anytime.
Oz.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, if
Do you want
anyone,
some lunch?
yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I'll get you a menu and you can let me know what you
Done.
want.
No worries.
And I'll give you a pie to take away for you and your missus.
All
She
right.
won't eat it, I know that.
Oh, well. Nah, fantastic. Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
No, it's been
And
awesome.
yeah, now I just got to try and load a pie back into the Harley.
Yeah, no, that's
Probably-
fine.
probably
I'll
eat
give
it,
you a
but-
menu if you need. You want anything, all
Okay.
of it. Let me know.
No worries.
Any of it.
Fantastic.
Don't need no jacket, shelter from the storm. Don't want an extra layer 'cause loving keeps me warm. And when she's with me, lifting off the ground, she keeps me next to her like I'm the only one around. Oh, how she loves me, picks me up and takes me high.
But that's all for today. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure you hit subscribe, give us a follow, tell your friends, be safe, and we'll be back another one real soon.